Um, Today we basically gonna explain what the whole idea is behind Kaffeeklatsch. Actually, how do we say that properly? We have to start. We have to start from the origin of the word Kaffeeklatsch. Would you do the honors?
Oh, the origin. Should we Google it?
Yeah, well, you don't have to go way back. Just what it means and.
Okay, not the Google origin.
No,
I'll just
no.
translate it then. Not that far back in time. So Kaffeeklatsch is basically a word you use in German for when you get together with, your other, usually it's lady friends, and they sit down and have a cup of coffee and just talk about other people in their lives in a good or good way. That depends on them. But the idea is just to sit around a table, have some fun, have some relaxed conversation, and have something cool to drink like we do, right?
Yeah. The idea behind this is that I would say I was looking at it from my own perspective, right? Do you remember that talk you did regarding introvert, extrovert thingy?
On my first 90-day video journey?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a while back, a year ago actually.
Yeah. And
crazy. You still remember that?
yeah, of course, because it got me thinking, right? Because I saw myself as an extrovert that was very much an introvert, because I'm very private and all that, right? And one thing I've realized through my time in SFM is that I think I'm more of an introvert with extrovert qualities, but I needed to connect more, to others because what happened is I did my 90-day, and after my 90-day, I kind of dropped off because I didn't, keep that connection and momentum going.
Yeah.
And I realized that it was people like yourself, like Erika Hens, even though I don't necessarily, I think I talk more to you than I did to anyone else in the SFM, right? But I think no, it's true. But me watching you continuing and your journey within the SFM and stuff is kind of what kept me going, right? And me watching Erika doing a thing and stuff, it kind of it encouraged me to continue on my journey, even though it might not necessarily be the same, but it's you have this someone that you're kind of following, through their journey, and you're watching them grow, and you kind of want the same for you, birds of a feather kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so the idea behind Kaffeeklatsch, and as we discussed, is that we want others to be able to find their little followers within the whole SFM, because there are too many people, and of course you can love, respect, and admire everyone, but there are those that you kind of you just feel this that they are going along the same wavelength as you are, or there's something that you want to aspire to, or something that they have,
You just connect on a deeper level with some people more than with others.
Exactly.
That's just the way it is.
So I want every part or every episode of Kaffeeklatsch to be focused on a particular individual and basically spotlight that person's, for whatever they are, whatever they want to bring forth, during that conversation, because I don't know what's going to happen. They don't know what's going to happen. It's just a chat between two people, and the same, it's similar to what I felt when I watched one of your 90-day videos, same as I felt when I watched one of Erika's 90-day videos. For some reason, I felt like I want to hear more from this person. There's something about this person that resonates with me, and I just want to hear what else they have to say. and maybe
Yeah.
connect. And then when you connect, then you kind of build these what did you call it, there's a saying they use, not the what's the, not dependency groups, but
Accountability.
accountability, that's it.
Dependency groups, love it. You do depend on accountability.
And I think I want it to be like that, you know? So like everyone can find, because and I've noticed that with certain people that I've spoken to within the SFM, there's certain people that contact me and ask me how things are going and stuff. And I can see that it seems like they are looking for theirs, or they are looking for, they're trying to reach out to someone.
Yeah.
And I guess I want this to be maybe a platform where it's going to evolve into something that will help others find whatever it is they're looking for, or that partner or that person that's going to inspire them to get to where they want to get to.
I love that vision you have, Danny. And I've told you this already, it's absolutely beautiful. It's like, why doesn't this exist already? Well, it kind of does, because you can see people on calls, but it's not specifically with that purpose in mind. And I feel it's going to be really special to have that around.
Okay. Okay, I'll ask this one. There might be levels, maybe not. What is your life story?
That is that is a question that I can just answer in 5 seconds, you know. So my life story. You mean like a theme that runs through it? Like a recurring theme?
That can be whatever you want it to be. Your life story. This is your show.
Yeah. So if I think of a recurring theme or something I would consider a story, it would be that I'm on this quest to this sounds really cliche, but to find out who I really am and what I'm here for. And I'm at this point, I know it has something or a lot to do with authenticity for myself, with others in general, like truth and authenticity is a huge part of that. And also part of that quest, like on my videos I always end with that I invite you to join me on my quest to max out in life. And that to me is also, it's like kind of, that to me is also always striving for the best you can be. Like I don't want to just have a comfortable, somewhat happy, content life and be gone again. I want to get to the maximum of what I can get, not in a egocentrical way that I always want to have more of everything or that way, but I don't want to leave any potential unused in anything. And I guess I could say that's in a way the story of my life, because I'm always looking to get the most out of everything and everyone in the way that I just want to maximize the potential that's there and leverage that.
That's amazing. I mean, I think at least as far as I have known you, you've always been there. No, seriously. And I think that's the thing that's always drawn me and others to you, you know? The actual authenticity of who you are. And you can see that you are someone that, your word means something.
Yeah.
And that's commendable. I genuinely like, I respect that. I respect that a whole lot.
I respect that too in people. And it's funny because it's an ongoing journey for me also. Like I'm not there yet. I'm just as much there as I can be at this point.
Yeah.
But there's still every time I discover something new, or I like have a breakthrough or like a realization or learn something about myself or life or whatever you want to call it, that one thing that I'm like, okay, you know, I can put a check mark on that now, that always is followed by 10 new things that I didn't even know I didn't know before that. So
Yeah.
it's paradox, because the more I know, the more I also don't know.
Yeah, I love that.
It's really weird.
Yeah, no, I think I was like, I think it was like mid-20s when I realized that I didn't know as much as I thought I knew. And it was weird because it like felt like this was the most liberating feeling ever.
Yeah, right? You're like, well, since I won't know, but at the same time, there's something really, it drives you to not know more.
Yeah. It opens up more doors to like, and it's like this whole expansion that takes place, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not this, because I mean, when I think of studying for an exam and then I get to the point where, you know, it's like anatomy. You can't know everything about anatomy. Like, it's just impossible. You can't know the whole book because, you know, the exam is coming up and everything. So even if you did study for a year for that exam, which is really unrealistic because you have 20 other exams in that year, you'll never know everything. And that in that situation, that was always like this defeating feeling of, okay, I just need to get down what I know is going to be asked, and, you know, have some knowledge about everything that can be asked, but I probably won't know the whole book. So I still need to like push myself to at least, you know, get something of everything crammed into my head. And with this, it's the opposite. It's like, I don't know. I know that I don't know everything, but that still drives me to uncover the next thing that I don't know.
Yeah.
And then maybe one day I will know that. And then
Yeah.
this goes on. So it never becomes boring, which is cool because I don't want life to be boring.
Oh, I thought my camera switched off.
No, you're good.
Question number 2. And remember, you can skip a question if you don't want to answer that.
Okay.
No. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
What has been your biggest regret?
My biggest regret.
Yeah. Again, you can skip that question.
No, it's all good. I am very happy to say that I don't have regrets.
Beautiful.
I really don't. One thing I know would have made growing up easier for me was if I had grown up with animals, but that was not possible for various reasons, and there's no one to blame for that, and it's just a fact. But every single thing I have been through, every single thing that has happened, every single thing that I have done or said or thought or whatever, all those things combined make me who I am today. And I freaking love my life, and I love the person that I'm becoming and the person that I have become, and I have no regrets. I have things that in retrospect I have learned from, and mistakes I've made that I won't make in the future because I saw the effects that had. But because of the lesson that I got from it, the only way to, like, the price for making that thing undone would be, even if that were possible, would be to also lose the lesson. And for me, the most valuable lessons I got from life were from the most painful things I've been through. And as much as I would never wish that on anyone, as much as I don't want to live through the pain again, there is no way I'm letting go of that lesson. And so I just embrace the whole package and move forward from there.
That's absolutely beautiful. That's amazing. Damn. Okay. Final question. You answered that one so freaking well. It's
Did it like check all the secret boxes that you had? No, I know you don't have those.
no, but it's like, because I think I've pondered on all these questions before I put them on. Before I actually put them on here, so it's like that was like, yeah, that was really, really good, man. And there were some aspects that the way you spoke about it that I didn't necessarily think about in that way, you know.
Like what?
No, I mean just the that it's taking something away from you, like when you take the experience away, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because you don't like, it's difficult to say. We can start the what if game, but most of the time you don't realize in what many tiny subtle ways what we have experienced in the past and who we like, how we came to be the person we are today.
Yeah.
And it's, you can't just rip one thing away that sucked back then and think maybe you wouldn't even have become the person to want to have that, like, you know, you just have no idea. It's like when you go 20 years back and just turn it half an inch more to the right, like you end up somewhere completely different. So like there's no way of telling. There's like, it's just, I'm not saying don't ponder those questions, because I absolutely do myself. I just don't like to waste energy on things that are not gonna, that putting energy in is not gonna change.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a question I had while you were talking that actually came to mind. So the way you think right now regarding that question with the regrets, right? Did you feel that before you started the SFM?
The SFM, yes. But going through those things, to be honest, when I'm in a situation where I feel threatened, like when I feel I'm in danger, usually I haven't really had like life endangering serious like physical threat situations, but like emotionally threatening, I like shut down, get through it, and then reflect on it later. So while going through that, I wasn't reflecting on it. I just made sure I did what I did to like survive.
Okay.
And then after that, I reflect and I digest it and I learn from it. So then I'm busy with that. My thoughts are not, oh, had this not happened, I'm like, okay, so what can I take from this? Like what do I do now? And I mean, part of that is, you know, if applicable, to grieve or to just feel bad or to just, you know, do like let out whatever that did to me. Like it's not healthy to just like pretend like nothing happened and life goes on. But there's a time for that. There's a time for processing the emotions that it evoked, and then there's a time for reflecting on that, and then there's a time on drawing your conclusions, and then there's a time of just like peace, you know, just like accepting things as they are. And then there's the time of getting back up on your feet, continuing your life. And then as you continue your life, you kind of start seeing the impact that had and how it changed you and how it maybe changed your perception and how it changed your the lens you look through on things. And so it's difficult. Like I wouldn't say I was like wishing it was not. Of course, if it was something, you know, if I wouldn't choose to be in that situation, but I tend to think forward and not try to, if I try to change it and it didn't work, like I'm not gonna try to change it forever. I'm just going to move on from there. So I feel like, yeah, that's, looking back, that's kind of what I did, even when I was younger, in a way, which doesn't mean it was easy, but it just means that the things that I can't change no matter how bad I want to change them. And we all have those things in our lives. So
you know that, like, you on this flow, like, can you feel it though?
yeah, I know. It's a cool place to be in.
No, but it's really cool that you know it though.
Yeah.
Like you're on this like, and again, like, from the beginning when I met you, there was something there, right? And it's like I gradually watched you just coming out, like you know, like a freaking caterpillar, like in a butterfly story thing. No, but it's true.
Butterfly story.
Peacock. But it's like, so it's like I not gradually, because it was just like, I don't know, there's just this flow that comes out of you, and it's like, now when you're talking, and we've had many discussions, right?
We have.
And I can sense the difference between when you were finding or looking for certain answers and the way you are like now. It's like you kind of, it's like you found something. I don't know what it is, but like there's something you found.
Yeah.
And it's propelled you up on this beautiful flow.
That ties right back to the first question, because right now I am looking for answers, but probably to other things. But it's a great point you bring up there, Denny, because we all have, like, if you watch Jay Kubasak's speech on Momentum Day or whatever, like, we have all heard that thing that you're not supposed to compare yourself to others, you have to compare yourself to yourself, and do that because it's gonna give you an idea of where you stand in your life. And speaking of that, living up to your potential thing and so on, and that's actually something for me. I mean, of course I have an idea of my future self and how I want to be and how I want to be able to handle situations and what I want to be able to do and all that, but the future is in a way always less tangible than the past because it's not happened yet, right? And a tool, or I don't know if I want to call it a tool, but something I've started applying, I wouldn't say systematically, but which has really gotten me out of bad places.
Yeah.
Once I realized how, like, the power in that is sitting down and looking back on what I did to get to where I am. And I have things in my life that just a few years back were like a dream and nowhere close to even being possible by 5 years ago standards. And to have that now every day in my life, and just, it's like the most normal thing. I just sat and I just, like, it hit me, and I was like, wow, be grateful for that.
Yeah.
and everybody has a past version of themselves, right? And if you think about what things you have in your life today, and maybe, I don't know, find an old journal if you journal, or just think back to some like point in time. Maybe you started your first job, maybe you got married, maybe it was when you started college, whatever it is. We all have those like points in our life that are like orientation points. Think back to the day you graduated high school and to the dreams you had and the vision you had for your life. Maybe you didn't even have one. Maybe it was something completely different. Maybe you ended up going a completely different path. But compare yourself today to that, and maybe it's going to wake you up and you're going to be like, crap, I want to find back to that kid who allowed himself to dream. Or you can be like, oh my God, like, all those things that I thought were never possible, like, I'm living twice as impossible now. And I think the power really lies in that, and just giving yourself the appreciation for where you're, like how far you've come, and also to appreciate no matter which of the two it is, no matter if you feel like you've surpassed your dreams or if you feel like you're stuck in the wrong direction, the fact that you are at this point and that you're aware of it is like the biggest thing you can have, and it's gonna give you momentum to move forward like nothing else can, because that's gonna be an intrinsic motivation that you on your own have discovered, made, lived through, create. Like it's all in you, and tapping into that is I think it's the most powerful thing we can do, because no one can force you. No one can force you to do anything. If you feel like someone is forcing you, it's because you give them the power over you. That was like three. That was like three questions in one.
Dude, in one word, what do you live for?
What do I live for?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good question.
To be honest, I didn't know how to answer this myself. I found
That's
it really
a really
hard.
good question, though. Well, basically, it comes down to your purpose in life, right?
Oh, don't look at me. I'm not helping you out.
Because I just so happen to yes, I have the beginning of an answer to that, actually, since going through the brand incubator. So my purpose in life is to kindly give others the space to be and trust their authentic self, so they're grounded in truth, to open and enrich new worlds. And that's a framework I have now that deeply resonates with me on all levels of my being, and that has been a very intense process of getting to. And now I feel like I have that, and I'm embarking on the journey to fill that with life. And I'm really excited for that, and I'm really excited to see where it's going to take me, what impact it's going to have on the people around me, and yeah, just what is going to come out of it in the long run on the bigger picture. So I think that's as close as an answer I can give you to that very very deep but very important question.
That was, yeah. Yeah, that was really deep. I don't think I went that deep myself, though. That was really, really deep.
Yeah.
But you can clearly see that, like, you know where you're heading. I mean, you know where you, well, you know in which direction you want to go.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what drives me. I still don't know how the destination's gonna look like, but I'm like, I feel like I'm beginning to gather my bearings. And that's okay, you know, because I believe that if you believe that you have life figured out, that's like the surest way to know that you don't.
Yeah.
Probably you won't, because you'll think you'll know everything, but I'm a huge believer in the fact that nobody knows anything, and everything. I mean, of course, everybody knows something,
but nobody knows everything.
Yes, and that's why it's so important to like connect with each other and have these discussions and ask these questions and ask other people these questions, and then their answer is going to give you a new perspective on the way you have been trying to answer that question for yourself, and we can go talking about this forever. But
yeah, but everybody, that's the thing, though.
Yeah, everyone has like a puzzle piece And life is about putting those together and just making, because if you've ever truly connected with people when it was about something bigger than yourself, the experience I had with that was that the sum of all the little parts that everyone contributes, the sum of that is larger than if you just added the little parts together.
Yeah.
And that to me is a fulfilled life, where you can put your talents, your creativity, what you're good at, your energy, your time, your whatever resources you have into something that is like that. And it's gonna bless you, it's gonna bless the people who are contributing to it, it's gonna just bless the world. So if everybody found something like that, this world would be awesome. And the only reason we don't is because we don't allow ourselves, ultimately.
Yeah.
I feel.
I mean, for me, I think that's my take, like doing these interviews, you know?
Yeah.
Because these are questions that I've asked myself and
Yeah.
I've answered. And I'd hear someone like you say in a way that I hadn't thought about, you know? And of course, it might resonate, might not or might resonate with what you're saying, but it still gets me to look at it from a different perspective, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think for me, that's the biggest stake.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was thinking about doing like this whole interview thing before, it's like, what was it exactly that I liked? It's like I found myself in some people more than others, but it's like I found pieces of myself in them.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, that's a beautiful way to put it. Yeah.
Because like none of this can exist without everyone. Well, like everyone that's involved in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So yeah, man, I'm absolutely overjoyed that you were the first one to do the whole Kaffeeklatsch with me. And thank you so much. I am overwhelmed to know that someone like you exists, and you are a friend of mine. Clara,
Benny, that goes both ways.
Love you loads, and thank you so much for your time.
It was an honor and a pleasure and so many other things. Honestly, I feel like, you know, the connection that can happen when you do your best to become yourself, and when you connect with other people who are also on that journey to becoming their best self. It's what happens when you collaborate, and each person is still becoming their best self, but something bigger happens there too, and it's just it just goes boom, and it's that's what to me the SFM is also about. Like, it's just and that's because like you bringing these people together with this project now, I can't wait to see where this is gonna go, where this is gonna take everyone involved. That is definitely one of those things.
So that was Clara. And you know we have to exit with your beautiful outro.
Dude, maybe this time the recording won't cut off.
Go for it.
Awesome. Cool. So thank you everyone for watching our little chat that we had here. This was officially the first episode of Kaffeeklatsch, so stay tuned for more. Super excited to see what this will grow into, Denny. My name's Clara. That's gonna mess up now because I only say my name. So brought to you by Denny Williams. My name's Clara, and I invite every single one of you to join me and us on this quest to max out in life.